From RockBeat Records, the company that gave you Halloween Nuggets and more Halloween Nuggets, comes a third LP, 20 tracks or CD worth of vintage 50s and 60s underground Halloweeny horror monstery hits. Return of Halloween Nuggets. I loved the first two volumes of this series. This was originally a box set, which you can still get, a CD box set. So if you just want them all in one fell swoop and you're cool with the CD thing, you can get all these on CD, but they're reissuing these as separate collections, and boy, are these fun. Now, a lot of times you'll get collections of novelty songs or monstery songs or Halloween songs, and they'll just be kind of cheesy and kind of lame, or they're really only something you want to listen to around the horror holidays. But this series is like super listenable. Like all the songs on these are, for the most part, legitimately good songs where you could listen to them and be like, that's a cool tune, and then realize, oh, it's about a guy with no head, or it's about a woman who eats people or something like that. But these are just fun tunes. So I'm going to show you the packaging. I'm going to go track by track more or less through this and let you know, but highly recommend this. Now, a lot of times when you're like 3 volumes in or multiple volumes into a series, you're like, did they use all the good stuff on the first 2? The answer is apparently no, because almost out of the gate, I was tapping my toe along and singing along with these songs. They're really fun. Some of them are like legitimately good songs, and some of them are just like fun songs about, as I said, monsters or murderers or aliens and things like that. So side 1 starts off with Gorilla by the Shandels, Go Go Gorilla by the Shandels. And we have Roland by Billy Duke and the Dukes, and it almost feels like if Sounds Incorporated had a vocalist, very brass heavy, very fun. You have Burn Witch Burn by the Circus, The Night Stalker by Teddy Durant, and it's this weird kind of macabre tune that's fun and light, but it reminds me of that single that the Boston Strangler, Albert DeSalvo, Strangler in the Night, I think it might have been called, put out years after that happened. So weird, kind of creepy, and it's called The Night Stalker, but it predates both Kolchak and Richard Ramirez, so it was ahead of the trend on that. It has a recurring phrase that is sung by some female backup singers that keeps saying, it sounds like they're saying, "Are you ready for Freddy?" Which all I could think of was that Fat Boys Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street song from the 80s. So that was kind of funny. Haunted House by Chris Kevin, which is not that other song called Haunted House that I used to have on a K-Tel record when I was a kid. Devil's Gotten Into My Baby by the Devotions. It feels like a Motown girl group tune. Like it's like a legit good song, good sound. Very unusual compared to some of the other songs on the disc because it does have that vibe to it. Cast in My Spell by the Spellbinders, which has got like a Bo Diddley beat and a Lee Dorsey type vocal. Just a really cool song. Creature from Outer Space by Sunny Day and the Tony Ray Combo. The Chiller by the Vic Platti Quintet, and the original audio from the House on Haunted Hill trailer to the old William Castle, Vincent Price movie rounds out side 1. They have another trailer at the end of side 2. Side 2 starts off with Werewolf by Carl Bonafade and the Gemtones, Scream by Ralph Nielsen and the Chancellors, Knives and Lovers by Frankenstein and His Ghouls, which was this instrumental group in the late 50s, early 60s that put out several albums, I think some of which are getting re-released on CD and LP lately. Witchcraft in the Air by Betty Lavette, which is just a nice, cool female soul tune. Voodoo Doll, Cha-Cha with the Zombies. I'm sorry, Voodoo Doll was by Glenda and Glenn, in case you were keeping score at home. Cha-Cha with the Zombies, which is a very silly, catchy tune by the Upperclassmen. The Hearse by Terry Teen. They're Here by Boots Walker, which sounds newer. It almost sounds like a Beck song, but I looked it up. It dates from 1967. Mad Witch by Dave Gardner, and then the album ends with Robot Monster trailer, so the audio to the famous Roman Robot Monster 3D movie trailer. The music is super fun. Some of it is what you would call novelty tunes, but a lot of it is just listenable, cool, old, new to me 50s and 60s rock, which is an era that I'm a fan of. So it's a good sounding album, whether you're playing it, in costume or not. And there are, like I say, 3 volumes in, and it's still a solid listen. So the album cover looks a little something like that. Back is more or less the information I just gave you, with a list of the other albums that RockBeat has out, including the classic Famous Monsters Speak record, which was a record that was very valuable if you tried to find it anywhere. Screamin' Jay Hawkins, Dr. Demento, The Mutants, and the first 2 volumes of Halloween Nuggets. You slip it open, and nothing too fancy there, but wait, there's more. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And I know some people are not a fan of non-black vinyl. Some people are they poo-poo the picture disc, they poo-poo the colored vinyl or the splatter vinyl because they said the audio quality isn't as good. It sounded good to me. I mean, it sounds like old 45s from the 50s and 60s, so the fidelity is not phenomenal. I don't know if it would sound better if this was on a CD or something else, but it sounded good to me. I had a heck of a good time with Return of Halloween Nuggets. I highly recommend it just as much as the first two volumes. Available now from RockBeat Records.